Hey everyone. Look, I was doing live training with the Elevate team leaders and team members in Tampa and Orlando last week, and I got this question, and these are, great realtors. These guys and gals are in the top 5%. So I'm like, if they're having this question, probably others are as well. So I thought I'd share it with you. And that is, how do we deal with overpriced sellers that are just like way overpriced? And I understand this, and I had a pretty simple explanation, which I'll share to you, and I'll just give you three ways to overcome this, and actually just benefit your buyer hugely. When you get a hot market like it's been lately, you get a lot of new agents kind of entering the market, part-time agents. If they take a listing, they might not do a lot of research or provide a lot of guidance. They just kind of say yes. And look, I went to some training courses where they said, just get the listing no matter what, get the listing, and you can always, then you're locked in for 6 months and you can reduce the price and everything like that. So, and I also listed a lot of homes, and sometimes sellers are a little bit unrealistic on their own because sometimes the neighbor lies to them and say, oh, I got $475 for my house. Or like, if his house is $475, mine's for sure $550. And then we look it up in the tax rolls and it's something different. But anyway, lots of different reasons why a house can be overpriced. But at the end of the day, you want to get your buyer the house, and you want to get them a great deal. Okay, so are you ready? Okay, it all starts with the lender. Okay, this is what I did. Okay, when I first started out, let's just say I would get somebody with a pre-approval letter from some big box bank for $400,000. We'd go take a look at a house that was $400,000 and overpriced, and so my buyer would want to offer $380, for instance, and I'd write it up at $380, and I'd include my pre-approval letter for $400, and it would go over to the listing agent. And what do you think the listing agent and the seller said right away? They're like, well, this guy can pay $400. I mean, Tim even sent in the letter that said this guy can pay $400. Look, I mean, I did that. Kind of dumb looking back, right? Okay, I get it, but I learned. So then what I did is I partnered with a lender, and I said, look, if he's approved for $400 and we're going to write an offer for $380, is there any way I can get a pre-approval letter for $380? He said, sure, no problem. I give you $381.5. It doesn't matter. Once you're approved for this amount, and my buyers don't want to pay the max either. I mean, who wants to be maxed out on their mortgage, right? Once you're approved for this goes into the computer. I can give you customized pre-approval letters no matter what your buyer offers. So like, okay, cool. So now let's fast forward to when I was a little bit wiser, and I would get I'd get a house, $400, and it's an overpriced house, and this is what the question from the Elevate agents are. We're getting some overpriced houses. So I'm like, let me just show you how you can make this like a real win-win for everybody. Okay, so let me break it down here. We'll switch hands. It's easier, me to talk. Okay, so overpriced house, $400. Your buyer says, hey, but I love this house, but I'm willing to pay $380. Okay, so you just say, okay, very easy. Just go to your lender and get a pre-approval for $380. And then you write it up and you send it in with the pre-approval for $380. Now, when the listing agent and the seller's agent take a look at this, they're gonna like, okay, so here's an offer for $380 and he's got a pre-approval letter for $380. So are they gonna say, oh, this guy's approved for it? No, they're not gonna know what he's pre-approved for. They're going to assume that this is what they're pre-approved for, which is $380. Or at least they'll have a doubt, okay? Now, here's your takeaways, and I'll give you a power tip too on top of that, but here's the takeaways to this. Let's not think about, listing agents and buyer's agents and everything. Let's talk about the seller as a real human being. Okay, this guy put his property on the market for, say, $450, whatever, some overpriced figure. He's had a lot of showings, right? Tight inventory market, there are going to be showings no matter what the price, right? Everybody wants to see the house. So he's had a lot of showings. Maybe he's even had some offers and he's countered and they haven't worked out, and he's gone back to his agent and say, hey, any chance we can get this guy back? You think that other buyer, you think he's bought anything yet? You think there's any chance that so he's had some disappointment now. So all of a sudden he's like, okay, so we're at $400, still a little little bit overpriced. I get it. That's cool. And here's somebody at 380, really solid. Maybe they've even done some like, I don't want to get into the mortgage stuff because I'm not a mortgage guy, but maybe they've even like actually been pre-approved and they've gone through like underwriting and everything like that. And you're like, you know what? If you sign here or somewhere pretty close to it, you've pretty much sold your house, and you can get on with your life. So here's the 1, 2, 3 takeaways for you, okay? So takeaway number 1, this works on, what have I done? Your viewers, okay. Accidentally hit the wrong button and it popped up. So never make a mistake on Facebook. No, that never happens to me. Okay, so takeaways. Number 1, if this is a normal deal, then just matching your pre-approval letter to your buyer's offer works out great, right? So, I mean, that's like one tip that you can implement today. Okay, I mean, it took me a long time to figure this out. I lost a lot of deals. I wrote a lot of paperwork that never went anywhere. Okay, and that's takeaway number 2, is if this is an overpriced house, then don't give them any reason to give you an overpriced counter offer, right? And you're giving them the ammunition by telling them how much your buyer can afford, right? So remember, you want them to get a dose of reality among themselves, and they're wondering whether they're ever going to sell this house or not, right? That's what you want. And like I said, remember, tip number 3, remember what's going on. The seller is a real person, okay? This is a real person, man, woman, who's gone through lots of showings, possibly price reductions, lots of negotiations and everything like that, and it hasn't happened, okay? And then here's your power tip, and then we're done. Takeaway from this is, what is your buyer going to think of you, okay? Whether the deal goes through or not, the buyer's going to think, hey, this Tim Johnson guy, like, he is a tough negotiator. This guy, like, he's got this, I was getting ready to just submit my $400,000 pre-approval letter, but he said, no, do it for $381.5, whatever it is that you're actually offering, just like tailor it to the exact amount. And Tim, that's really cool, right? Because, you're just thinking outside the box. So whether he gets it or whether he doesn't, he thinks you're really a cool negotiator. But here's the thing, most of the time this is going to work, because what your buyer really wants is, he wants a tough negotiator. He wants somebody who is going to get him the house. I mean, look, if I come to this house here and I'm like, wow, this is really cool, I love this, it's right on the canal and everything like that, you got to get me this house, man. I mean, I don't care what you do, but you got to get me this house. Buyers are not going to submit offers on properties that they don't want to live in, that they don't want to buy. They're going to submit offers on properties that they love, and you are the one getting them for them. So great source of testimonials, because they're going to say, whether you got the house or whether you didn't get the house, man, this Tim Johnson, he's got a technique. I mean, he's got this down to a science. And actually, we did get the house. Most of the time, we were pretty successful in getting the house, because we're just kind of going in with what everybody thought was our, final and best offer, because that's what matched the pre-approval letter. So anyway, that was really cool. Testimonials were really cool. Clients getting the house, really cool. Telling all their friends, really cool. So this is going to make tons of deals happen for you that would not otherwise happen. Otherwise, it's just, you're doing what I used to do, which was writing a ton of offers that were just wasted, and I was disappointing my buyers, versus creating raving fans out of my buyers, even if we didn't get the deal. So, hey, so if you're a real estate agent, or a real estate agent who works with buyers, share this video with them, tag this on the video. This is a very simple thing. I mean, you can start doing this tomorrow. It's a very simple implement, and you can start making money with this right away, and getting houses and kind of getting better deals for your buyers, even in a hot seller's market. Okay? So think big, serve big. Take care.